There's a moment in our 80s when something subtle shifts. You wake up and walking across the room takes longer than it used to. You rest after lunch, but the energy doesn't return the way it once did. You follow the same routine, your morning tea, a gentle walk, a light dinner, but somehow your knees ache, sleep is light, and your balance feels uncertain. You've done everything right, you stayed active, you ate moderately, you never asked for much. So why does your body now feel tired? The answer may not be in what you're doing too much of, but in what you're not doing enough of. Today I want to talk with you, not as a doctor, not as a coach, but as someone who understands the quiet confusion of growing older. Because after 80, our bodies don't shout anymore, they whisper. And if we don't listen, we miss what they're trying to tell us. After 80, the body changes in ways that aren't always visible, but deeply felt. You might notice that your knees feel stiff in the morning, or that you feel lightheaded after standing up. Some days you walk fine. Other days your legs feel like they've forgotten how. This isn't weakness, it's biology. With age, the immune system slows down. White blood cells, our inner defenders, become fewer and slower. It takes longer to recover from a cold or even a small cut. Cartilage that cushioned your joints for decades slowly thins out. That's why squatting feels harder. Climbing stairs feels like a task. Your heart, though strong in spirit, may beat a bit more cautiously now, and yet most of us continue pushing through, assuming we're just being lazy or not trying hard enough. But here's the truth. The body after 80 is not fragile. It's wise. It doesn't need punishment. It needs partnership. Of course, it's not just the body that changes. Life itself becomes quieter. Friends move away. Families grow busy. The home that once echoed with conversation becomes still. Many older adults in America live alone, not because they want to, but because life arranged it that way. And loneliness doesn't just touch the heart, it changes the body. Studies from Harvard and Johns Hopkins have shown that isolation after 70 increases the risk of heart disease, memory decline, and even early mortality. Not being spoken to becomes a kind of malnutrition. Then there's the pressure to keep costs low. You skip the checkup. You hold on to old prescriptions. You take a painkiller from the kitchen drawer because it's cheaper than calling a doctor. You mix it with herbal tea because someone once said it helps. But the truth is, these shortcuts have a cost. Over time, they wear down the liver, confuse your digestion, and fog up your clarity. And through it all, your routine stays the same. Morning tea. Sit for a while. Watch the news. Eat quietly. Sleep lightly. The comfort of habit is real, but so is the danger of never stepping outside it. For many of us, walking has always been a friend, a moment of independence, a daily ritual, a quiet form of hope. And science agrees. Walking regularly improves circulation, strengthens the heart, and helps the lungs breathe easier. It keeps joints lubricated, muscles toned, and bones alert. It moves digestion along, steadies blood sugar, and clears the mind. But here's the part most people forget. After 80, too much walking can be just as harmful as too little. Not all knees are made equal. Your neighbor might do 10,000 steps and feel great. You might do 3,000 and feel sore the next day. That doesn't mean you're behind. Doctors now suggest 6,000 to 7,000 steps per day if that feels good for you. If your knees ache in the morning, or if you feel drained instead of refreshed, that's your body whispering again. Posture matters too. Keep your spine upright. Let your arms swing. Avoid walking with your hands behind your back. It restricts circulation and throws off balance. And most importantly, when you stop, do it slowly. Let your body wind down like a gentle exhale. Movement is not just about distance. It's about rhythm, ease, and connection to yourself. At this age, what matters most is not how far you walk, but how well you. Doctors across the US now agree. There are 3 habits more powerful than exercise alone. First, eat with balance. The digestive system slows down after 80. Protein becomes harder to absorb. Muscle naturally declines unless supported. You don't need big meals, you need nourishing ones. Eggs, lentils, soft fish, warm soups. Leafy green, not fried, not rich, just enough. Avoid salt where you can. Let flavor come from herbs, garlic, lemon. Drink warm water through the day, not cold sodas or strong coffee. Let your food be gentle, like the care you give to a child. Second, engage your mind, not with loud screens or endless news, but with light challenges. Read aloud, solve a puzzle, Learn a new word, write a memory from your childhood, try a new prayer, hum an old tune. One man in Kansas started painting at 82. By 87, he had filled his hallway with watercolors of trees he'd seen on his walks. It's not about talent, it's about waking up the mind. And third, stay connected. Isolation isn't just a feeling, it's a health risk. Call your cousin, wave to a neighbor, invite someone for tea. If no one comes, talk to yourself kindly. Even that helps. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who engage in meaningful conversations just a few per week have 30 to 40% lower rates of depression. Connection doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real. At this stage of life, the body no longer shouts, it whispers. Sometimes that whisper shows up in your knees. Sometimes it's in your stomach or in the silence after a long day. But these aren't signs of weakness. They're quiet invitations to listen more closely. I remember hearing about a man named Mr. Harrison in Missouri. He was 84 when he started taking painkillers every morning just to keep moving. Not because he loved them, but because he didn't want to ask for help. One day, the discomfort in his stomach became too much. His daughter finally took him to the doctor. Turned out his liver was inflamed, not from disease, but from years of quiet, everyday habits. Mixing over-the-counter meds with old prescriptions, trying to manage pain alone. But with a few changes, fewer pills, better food, and honest conversations, he said something I'll never forget. I didn't know less could feel like more. And that's the truth for many of us after 80. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters, with care. Sometimes that means resting when your knees ask for it. Sometimes it means reaching out to someone you've been missing. And sometimes it just means sitting quietly with yourself. When was the last time you sat in silence? Not because no one was around, but because you chose to. When was the last time you noticed your breath and let it calm you? You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove anything. You've already lived enough to know what matters most is presence. The poet Maya Angelou once said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Aging brings change, it brings losses, but it doesn't take away your worth, your grace, or your ability to love and be loved. So maybe today you write a short note to someone far away, or cook something warm just for yourself, or walk, not for steps, but to feel the air on your skin. These aren't small things, they're acts of care, and care is what keeps the spirit alive. You don't need to live like you did at 50. You just need to live kindly, with awareness, softness, and your own rhythm. Because even now, even today, it's never too late to begin again.